My boyfriend betrayed my trust and tried to take advantage of my sleeping flatmate when I left him. Left him alone in my flat. Submitted by you/roommate Time Peril. Hey, I am in a tough place. And I am really upset about everything that has happened. There's a lot, so please bear with me. I'm 21 and a junior at a medium-sized college. My soon-to-be ex-boyfriend 22M goes to a state school, about 2 hours drive from my college, so he visits half the time. We met through mutual friends and have been going out for about 2 years now. He was my best friend, and I loved our dynamic more than anything. I live with 3 other people, my best friend Lee, and 2 girls, who were placed in our flat by university housing. The other girls are Emily and Michelle 20F, who are best friends. As the year went on, the 4 of us have become closer. We've come to think of each other as friends. This weekend Emily and Lee went home, so it was just Michelle and me at the flat. My boyfriend came Friday after, and we spent the rest of the day together. We went to my sorority's social event but left early because my boyfriend was a bit tired. Michelle is in the army and is super fit and beautiful. She has a ton of tattoos and is generally a badass girl. She used to hang out with me sometimes. And my friend in the living room, I've seen him look at her a couple of times, but just thought it was a normal guy thing and just brushed it off. Michelle went to bed early because she had to get up early for drill on Saturday. Me and my boyfriend went to bed after coming home, when I got a text from one of the younger sisters in the sorority, saying that there was an emergency at her house, and I had to come over immediately. I asked my boyfriend if he wanted to come and help, and he said no and that he was staying back. I told him it might be a while, and he insisted on staying. I just put it down to him being tired. I ended up going over to the girls' dorm to find one of them unconscious from all the drinking at the social event. Her flatmate was trying to make her by sticking a finger down her throat. We called RA, resident advisor, who said she would deal with the situation. The RA drove my sister to and I said I would meet her there. After grabbing a coat and my car keys, I went back to my flat, and I walked into a scene that made my heart sink. My boyfriend was in his boxers, standing in the doorway of Michelle's room. I walked in and saw her crying on the floor. I asked what the hell was going on, and learned from Michelle that my boyfriend had tried to get into her room while she was asleep and tried to persuade her into having sex with him. While I was getting the details from Michelle, my boyfriend basically just stood there and said anything, which I obviously believed Michelle, and told my boyfriend to get his things and go back to school. I asked Michelle if she needed me to do anything for her, but she just said that she needed to because of the drill over the weekend. So I went to the emergency room to make sure my sister was okay, and stayed until she was discharged in the morning. She is fine now, and just has to deal with the sorority council about her behavior at the social event. I just have no idea how to deal with my flatmate, because I know she has to be traumatized by this. I don't want her to hate me after this. I'm lucky that my boyfriend is. I am so heartbroken that he would do such a thing. I just feel so sad and confused, and I have no hope at the moment. I have been texting her, but she's a drill, so her replies are sporadic. Basically, he came in and tried to get under the covers. She woke up and freaked out, and he said stuff about how he found her attractive and how he wanted to spend night with her. She started crying because she was so surprised and taken aback. Michelle did not come home on Sunday night and stayed with a friend until Monday. She skipped school for a mental health day, partly because she needed sleep after a long and tiring exercise. When she returned to the flat, she already had a plan. After talking to a sergeant in her unit, we talked and cried for a couple of hours, and most of the time, we just sat in silence. I finally felt the weight of the situation. For anyone who asks if my was physically abusive to her, he was not the only one. The only time he touched her was when she started to push him away. He tried to push her hands away because he thought she was going to hit him or something. We think he was shocked because she refused to sleep with him and assumed that his amazing plan would go perfectly. Michelle does not want to report him to the police, but she did want to report him to our university. She decided not to go to the police, because our university can provide a form of anonymity. Michelle is trying to get into something called Officer Candidate School when she graduates, so she didn't want to deal with any kind of backlash that might hurt her chances of being selected. We went to the Title IX office, and they saw us right away. We explained the situation. We spoke to a coordinator, but she wanted to talk to Michelle alone most of the time. After the meeting, we were assured that my ex would be banned from the campus. The coordinator also said that she would contact his school to make sure that he faced some sort of consequence. According to her, if his school takes this seriously, he could be kicked out of his engineering fraternity and suspended for a semester. Michelle was perfectly fine with that. She just wants him out of our lives for good. Our relationship as roommates is not awkward. In fact, I feel closer to her. We decided not to renew for the final year. Michelle and Emily will get a double in lead. I will be getting one too. As for my ex, I have blocked him from everything and haven't contacted him since. I told him to leave the flat. I am ready to turn over a new leaf. However, as a last-ditch effort to see him burn, I sent a message to his parents on Facebook and explained what he had done and why I would not be attending Thanksgiving at their house. They saw the message but did not reply.